Morning everyone. I'm about to make a new batch of soap with a new fragrance oil by Indigo Fragrance called Gain Type. It's really fresh smelling. I really like the smell of it. I'm going to attempt to do more of a manly bar. I'm going to be using a new recipe and we're going to see how this turns out. My new recipe I'm hoping will make for a harder lasting bar. My bars are normally pretty hard, but you know, it wouldn't hurt to make them even harder. So I'm going to go ahead and get my oils measured out and my lye measured out with my water separated. I'll be adding sugar to this water. It helps with the lather. I'm also going to be adding Tussa Silk. It also helps with making the bar very luxurious. So I'm going to go ahead and continue with that process and then I'll bring you back. So again, I'm making a new batch of soap using a new fragrance oil by Indigo Fragrance called Gain Type. I'm going to use the full ounce into my batch of soap. I'm just making a small batch because these are test oils and I like to make sure that it doesn't rice the soap, doesn't seize my batch, that it doesn't discolor the soap, and of course that the scent holds up. I'm also trying out a new recipe. I wanted to make a lighter bar without adding too much titanium dioxide because I am prone to titanium dioxide cracks, also known as glycerin rivers. So I tried a new recipe so that way I can see if I can get the creamy look without adding too much TD. I also wanted a harder bar, so I added some new butters and I took away some of the oils that I normally use. I had my lye cooling down. I went outside and mixed it because as always I like to use lye safety precautions, gloves, goggles, mask in a well-ventilated area. Before I added my lye, I added my sugar. I made sure that was fully dissolved before I added my lye. My Tussa Silk's in there and my sodium lactate's in that mixture as well. I am going to be using a white pearly mica, a green mica, and some black glitter to this batch. I'm going to just do a swirl type effect. I will go ahead and share my recipe since it's my first time attempting this. Now, I wanted to make a light bar and a harder bar, so I used sweet almond oil, 2 ounces, castor oil, 4 ounces, coconut oil, 10 ounces, cocoa butter, 2 ounces. I used soy wax, 6 ounces, and palm oil, 6 ounces. So it's the first time I'm ever using this recipe, and I guess we'll learn together if it comes out okay. So I'm going to let my oils cool down, my lye cool down, and then I'll bring you back and show you each step of the process like I always do. Alright, so I'm still letting everything cool down. My oils are about at 111 degrees. My lye was about at 120 degrees, so I stuck it in a little ice bath to help the cooling process. I'm just going to go ahead and wait probably about another 10-15 minutes, and the temperature of the oil should be about 100, which I like to soap at, and then I'll mix the two together. So I'm just going to give it another 10 to 15 minutes to let these continue to cool down, and then we will add the fragrance oil and the colorant and see how everything holds up. Alright, my oils are at 95 degrees and my lye solution's at 95 degrees. What I'm going to try this time is to add my oil, my fragrance oil, which is the Gain Type fragrance oil, 1 ounce, to my oils before I mix the lye. I want to make sure that my batch doesn't seize, that the color holds up, that my soap doesn't rice, and that of course the scent holds up. So I'm going to go ahead and add the fragrance oil, and then I'm going to add the pearly white mica to this batch to lighten it up, and then I'll put in the other 2 colors, which was the green mica and the black glitter, and we'll do a little swirl effect. So let me go ahead and get those steps completed, and then I'll show you what the batter looks like once I have it at trace. Alright, here's my batch with the fragrance oil added in. It smells incredible. It smells really, really good. I also added the pearly white mica, and it really helped get rid of that yellow tint. So now I'm going to split this up in 2 more different cups so I can add the green mica and the black glitter. And then we're going to swirl it and put it in the mold. And I'll show you that when it's completed. Alright, here is my batch split in 3. Now this oil did accelerate trace a little bit. I just brought it to emulsification. As you can see, it's really thick right now. So I'm going to work really fast and get this in the mold. And then I'll show you what it looks like once it's in the mold. All right, so here is everything in the mold. Now this fragrance oil, the Gain type, I used the full ounce and it did accelerate my trace, but it wasn't anything that I couldn't work with. You just have to work fast. I went ahead and did I kind of plopped the colors into the mold in, you know, one layer after another, and then I did a swirl effect, and then I added what I had on top. So we're going to set this aside for 24 hours. Let it sit, and we'll unmold it, and we'll see how it held up. But it didn't cause any ricing in my soap. The colors look beautiful. It's this beautiful lime green color, and my black glitter kind of turned grayish, but it still sparkles. And then the white held up very nicely. We'll see if I get glycerin rivers. Hopefully not, because I soaped at 95 degrees. So hopefully we won't. But so we're going to go ahead and put this aside, and we'll see how it turns out tomorrow. Thanks for watching. So it's been 24 hours. I'm going to go ahead and unmold this loaf, and we're going to cut it and see how it looks. It still smells incredibly well, and in the actual loaf it feels extremely hard. So I'm hoping my new recipe worked out the way I wanted it to. So let me unmold it, and then I'm going to get my cutter out, and we'll give a few slices to this loaf. Alright, here are my newly cut bars of soap. I love this new recipe. It's an extremely hard bar of soap. I really, really like it. I love the colors. They stayed extremely vibrant. And I didn't get any TD rivers, or glycerin rivers as they're called, TD cracks, excuse me. So I'm really excited about that. It looks really, really good to me. And the smell is incredible. I love how fresh it smells. It does smell like fresh dryer sheets. That's what it smells like to me. So this is my newest bar. I don't know what to name it yet, so I'm going to have to think about that. But I'm going to go ahead and let it cure, and it'll be for sale on my website in a couple weeks. Thanks for watching, everyone.